think we can move, maybe. I may move towards the issue of women participation into a sustainable development and how women can be empowered globally to sustain the development, or to not to talk about projects but to talk about ongoing processes in terms of projects that are existing, because we feel that women are the major people to be empowered, and women are the people who cater all the needs within the families, and women have a responsibility to grow up, to grow children up, and up until those children are at a standard that they also follow the route to sustain their ongoing processes towards uplifting their standard of living. And that is in some countries it is difficult to get women being curious in terms of development strategies, but taking themselves as people who can have a backseat and men can be upfront. And then we need to see how we can develop those women in different countries, how we can mobilize women in communities so that they can take the responsibility, the forward line in terms of development strategies.
Thank you.
But can I ask then, because you already have this savings group, wouldn't you say that that's one initiative, that's one way of starting to work, or could you say something of your experience of that?
Yeah, that is why when we ask ourselves in South Africa this question on how we can deal with that, we decided to form saving schemes to mobilize the communities into smaller groups that can save as much as they have, so that they can be identified or be acknowledged by any institute that they are people who are organized and who can manage the funds that they have, so that they can be able to manage the funds they can be given by another institute. So what we do is to save on daily basis, not collecting money, but collecting the needs of the people. Sometimes you get a house, a member of a community when you are dealing with daily savings, and that member hasn't eaten the whole day, and that member is unemployed. You don't know, but when she is a member of the savings scheme, you see during the collection time, and then you report into the meeting, and then the meeting decide on how to help that particular person so that she can get a better living. So that is why we started saving schemes that they have their own guidelines, saving schemes that understand what they are saving for, the reason for the savings, and saving schemes that can be able to meet regular, so that one can understand what is happening within the money that they are raising on daily basis. A saving scheme that will be empowered to negotiate with the government in all spheres, to negotiate with other funders so that they can create more projects for their living. So that is why we have started saving schemes, and that has helped us so much in South Africa that we were able to go out to other countries, to go and mobilize other countries into savings up until SDI was formed, with all the 24 countries that are involved in savings.
Scaling up globally, what do you know how to do already locally?
Globally, in South Africa, for instance, South Africa is saving, has got some funds from the government. in other countries, they are saving, they are dealing with loan systems because the government doesn't have subsidies to subsidize them. But they are doing so much. They access land through their loans, they access housings through their loans, they get into income generation projects through their loans, and the life is better now for them.
It's so often a question of jumping on opportunities as they occur through both the cooperation and to some degree the capital that these saving schemes have generated in a way that you could never do by applying to a funder for something because the opportunity's gone. A piece of land that comes up, a new law, a new subsidy that requires you to bring something to the table. This creates a flexibility and a group of people who are capable of acting together as a political entity that's incredibly powerful.
Yeah. So, how else would you react to the notion of taking what we know, scaling it up, and then having a global reach to implement change? You were going to say?
Yeah, and I will say something on that, but I just wanted to take that trend of thinking to another level, which is basically we've seen economic empowerment through what women are doing in South Africa, which is, fantastic, really. And the comment has been made that is also a very powerful political tool. And honestly, I couldn't agree more. I have worked in government before myself, and I've been on both sides, so I know that many times politicians are afraid of these kinds of numbers. Okay? And I think it's beyond just going out there and presenting yourself as a force for negotiation. You can also look at sponsoring people into the political space. Since you as women and mothers have a lot to do with raising young ones and children and instilling them with the right culture and right discipline, I think it's something that if you take as a program, as a scheme, over a period of time, the rewards will be really phenomenal. So that's my take on it. I really think it's the thinking is just in the right direction, and you should be looking at how to grab hold of the political space.
So you're thinking about it in terms of people entering politics as opposed to influencing the direction of political movements.
Well, entering politics also influences the direction of political movement. Okay, in the sense that it couldn't be better. You're there. You are there, and you can actually take decisions that directly impact your people, rather than having to negotiate. Negotiate, all right, it's a good thing. Continue in that direction, but I'm saying go a stage further and see how you can actually sponsor people to go in there. Because at the end of the day, they are the grassroots. They understand the problems of the people. The people that are meant to represent you understand your problems. I think they should.
Yeah. No, I'm just thinking that part of I'm not nearly as familiar with the SDI affiliates in Africa as in India, but I know that in India it's served them best to be very agnostic politically, to the point where they've been accused at times of selling out because they don't affiliate themselves with a political party that's seen as having the moral high ground. They work pragmatically with whoever is in power. And I think once a grassroots movement like this becomes associated with a political party, it runs into a new set of dangers. How would that apply in South Africa?
Could I say that you don't necessarily have to? Yeah, you don't have to.
You don't have to.
No.
You don't have to
associate yourself with the political
But that's what
parties.
I mean.
We can be political party members, but within the organization that we have, the grassroots organization that we have mobilized ourselves into, we don't politicize it.
Yeah, right.
We go the route that we are a social community movement.
Right.
That is not political.
Right. You
we
work-
won't stand for vote anyhow.
Yeah, so you work pragmatically with whoever is there.
Smaller group.